Welcome to English with Afreen. To get the targeted score, try this listening test 2 times. Best of luck. Oh, please subscribe to the channel. It will help us a lot. Now, let's get started. Section 1, you will hear a conversation between a woman and a policeman about a stolen briefcase. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Good evening, City Police Station. Can I help you?
Oh, hello. I'd like to report a stolen big briefcase, please.
Just a minute and I'll put you through.
Lost property. Can I help you?
Oh, yes. I've had my briefcase stolen.
Okay, I'll take some details. Tell me what it looks like, first of all.
Well, it's a soft leather one, not a heavy box type like a man's. And it's a bright yellow color briefcase.
And how does it close?
It's got buckles at the front. 2 of them, they're gold-plated ones.
Fine. Was it locked?
No, I'm afraid not.
Never mind. Any distinguishing features?
Pardon me.
Any marks or badges on it that make it stand out?
Only the brand name.
And where's that?
It's on the back. At the bottom in the left-hand corner. It's President. Oh, and there's a scratch. It's quite bad but small. Directly above the brand name. I did it recently putting it on my bike.
Right, got that. So, what did you have inside the briefcase?
Well, all my papers from college. It's so frustrating, but thank goodness for computers. I haven't lost them completely.
Yes, you're lucky.
I had my wallet in my pocket so I didn't lose that, but there were also my pens, which I got for my birthday, and a novel I was planning to read on the train.
Right. Where exactly did you lose the briefcase?
Well, I couldn't believe it. I was standing on the platform. It was right next to me.
You were holding it.
I just put it down on the floor, but I could almost feel it beside me. I was watching for my tram because sometimes it comes early, and then next time I looked, my briefcase wasn't there.
And what time was this?
It was. It must have been about 5:20. Oh no, a bit later. I'd say 5:30 because it was just getting crowded and the train normally comes at about 25 to 6.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now, listen and answer questions 6 to 10.
Right, if you'll just give me some personal details.
Yes.
What name is it?
I'm Mary Prescott.
Can you spell that?
Yes, it's Prescott.
And your address?
Flat 941, Fountain Road, Canterbury.
Fountain Road.
Yes, number 41.
And have you got a contact telephone number?
Yes, it's 752239.
Fine. One last question. What would you say the value of your briefcase is?
Including the contents.
Yes, just a rough estimate is fine.
I'm not sure. Well, the briefcase itself is quite new. I bought it last month for £40. I suppose about £65. The contents are worth about £20 or £25 at least.
That's fine. Well, if you could come down to the station tomorrow, you can sign this form and have a look at what we've got here.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Goodbye.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to Section 2. Section 2, you will hear an introductory talk to a group of temporary workers at an international travel exhibition. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 14. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 14.
Good morning and welcome everybody. I'm John and I'm the staff manager here at the Exhibition Center. We're expecting this year's international travel exhibition to attract over 30,000 visitors a day. Ladies and gentlemen, and you are among the 300 extra staff recruited to help and look after them. Now I will tell you how to help things run smoothly. We have divided you into 4 teams: the blue team, the green team, the red team, and the yellow team. So, first I'll explain how the teams are divided up, and then we'll be giving you color-coded t-shirts, so we can identify you more easily. First of all, those who will be looking after the phones and handling all calls regarding the exhibition, you will be on the red team. Now, we've put the entrance staff on the yellow team, and you'll be stamping the entrance tickets and giving out publicity leaflets. Those of you involved in distributing entrance tickets will be on the yellow team. And we've also put those of you who will be staffing the information booths around the conference center on the yellow team. So, you'll be getting a yellow t-shirt. Now, most of the hospitality staff have been put in the blue team. So the chefs among you and the kitchen hands will all need a blue t-shirt. But because of the chef numbers, all waiting staff will be on the yellow team. And this includes the bar staff among you. Those who will be monitoring and directing the traffic in the car parking are on the green team, so you'll need to get a green t-shirt. This year, we've also employed a considerable number of attendants to direct the human traffic around the conference center. Now, you'll be working in the exhibition hall, giving directions and generally helping people whenever you can, and you will be in the red team. So please collect a red t-shirt.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 15 to 20. Now, listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
Right, now that everyone knows what team they're in, we'll get on with the orientation and training program. And first I'll run through the rest of today's program, which you should have in front of you so that you can get a general idea of what else is in store today. This introduction finishes at 9:30, and then you'll be hearing from Smith. Smith works in the accounts department on level 2, and she looks after all temporary staff. And so, she is the person to see if you have any problems regarding pay, and will be explaining when and how you get. She will also be handing out your tax forms. And I will just stress that all tax forms must be completed and returned to Smith before your pay can be processed following Smith's talk. You'll hear from Peter, our conference manager, and he will be going over a plan of a conference center with you, which will help you to orient yourselves. He will also go through the security arrangements with you and show you the fire exits. Then at 10:30, there will be a coffee break in the staff canteen, which is located down on the ground floor. Now, after the break, we'll be moving to a different location for a video presentation. So, instead of coming back here, we'd like you all to go to lecture room 3 at 11. You'll find it on the same level, just down the hall. And there you will be shown a video about important safety issues in the workplace, called Safety at Work. We'll finish off the morning with lunch, which should give everyone a chance to meet and get to know each other. And we'll be serving you a buffet lunch in the main hall, which is on the first floor from 12 o'clock. After lunch, you'll be divided up into your teams to meet your team leaders. And we're hoping to be all finished by 3. So I won't delay you any longer, and I'll hand you all.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to Section 3. Section 3, you will hear a discussion between a student and a lecturer. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Hello, can I come in?
Oh, yes, come in. How can I help you?
I was looking for the economics office. I've been all over the arts faculty building looking for it, but I could only find the School of Accounting and Economic History. Is this the right place?
Yes, this is the School of Economics.
Oh good. I'm a new student, and I was wondering if someone could give me some information.
Well, I might be able to help. I lecture on that program. What do you need to know?
Quite a few things, actually. Firstly, how many lectures a week do I have to attend?
Well, the Economics 1 course is a double unit, so there are 2 lectures a week and 1 tutorial. The lectures are scheduled for Tuesday and Thursday.
What time?
Let me see. You know this information is all in the handout, which you should have received yesterday at the orientation meeting.
Oh, was there a meeting yesterday? I didn't know about that. No one mentioned.
Yes, there was, but never mind. Now lectures are at 4 in the afternoon.
4's a bit late. I've got a part-time job that starts at 4:30.
Well, you can't be in 2 places at once, can you? And attendance at lectures is necessary. We expect at least 85% attendance at this university, you know.
85%. That's high. Do they enforce that rule?
Yes, we do. We're pretty strict about it, actually.
And what times have been set down for the tutorials? Do you have that information?
That's a very well-attended course, so there's a number of tutorial times. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, all at 10 o'clock. Yours will be allocated at the first lecture.
Can't I choose the time?
Maybe, maybe not. You'll have to talk to the lecturer on the course. Dr. Roberts is his name.
Oh, okay.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you'll have some time to look at questions 26 to 30. Now, listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
Anything else I can help you with while you're here?
Well, yes, actually. Do you know what the course requirements are? I mean, how much work is expected for this course?
Well, you have to complete a tutorial paper.
What does that involve?
Well, it's a piece of work on a given topic based on some set reading texts. You'll have to give a small presentation to your tutorial group.
How long does that have to be?
Oh, about 30 minutes usually.
I have to talk for 30 minutes.
Yes, that's right. And then you have to write up your piece of work and give it to the lecturer to be marked.
Right, and is that all?
No, you also have to complete a 4,000-word essay on a topic.
Can I choose the topic?
Yes, usually you can.
Right, that shouldn't be too bad.
And in addition to that, there is an exam.
An exam? What sort of exam?
Well, it's an open book exam.
Does that mean I can have the textbook with me during the exam?
Yes, that's right.
And can you give me any idea about the content of the first year of economics so that I can get into some reading?
Well, you'll be getting the reading list next week when lectures start. All the books are in the library.
Yes, but won't everyone else take them out as soon as they get the reading list too?
Well, yes, they might. But most of the important ones are held in closed reserve. That's a part of the library where you can go to read books, but you can't take them out of the building.
What did you call that section of the library?
Closed reserve. However, we do recommend that you buy the core books. You'll find them useful and you'll need them for the exam.
Yes, I suppose I will. But what is the focus of the course?
Well, the course at this university has a vocational focus. That is a focus on preparing its graduates for work. So we're orientated very much towards employment.
So my chances of getting a job are good.
Well, provided you get good results.
Well, thanks for your time. You've been really helpful.
That's fine. See you next week then.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to Section 4. Section 4, you will hear part of a lecture about leadership, introducing a theory called self-regulatory focus theory. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Today, I want to talk about self-regulatory focus theory and how the actions of leaders can affect the way followers approach in different situations. Self-regulatory focused theory is a theory developed by Torrey Higgins. He says that a person's focus at any given time is to either approach pleasure or avoid pain. These are two basic motivations that each and every one of us has, and they cause us to have different kinds of goals. Promotion goals in different life situations emphasize achievement. Prevention goals are oriented towards the avoidance of punishment in a specific situation. Our thoughts might focus more on promotion goals or more on prevention goals. The theory suggests that two factors affect which goals we are focusing on first. There is a chronic factor. This factor is connected to a person's personality and says that each person has a basic tendency to either focus more on promotion goals or focus more on prevention goals as part of his or her personality. Second, there is a situational factor, which means that the context we are in can make us more likely to focus on one set of goals or the other. For example, we are more likely to be thinking about pleasure and to have promotion goals when we are spending time with a friend. In contrast, in our mind, research has shown that the goals we are focusing on at a given time affect the way we think. For example, when focusing on promotion goals, people consider their ideal self, their aspirations and gains. They don't think about what they can lose, so they think in a happier mode. They feel more inspired to change. When people are focusing on prevention goals, they think about their ought self. What are they supposed to be? What are people expecting from them? They consider their obligations to others. As a result, they experience more anxiety and try to avoid situations where they could lose. Now that I have talked about the two focuses and how they affect people, I want to look at the idea that the way leaders behave or their style of leading can affect the focus that followers. In a specific situation in talking about leadership, we often mention transformational leaders and transactional leaders. Transformational leaders, when interacting with their followers, focus on their development in their words and actions. Transformational leaders highlight change. Their speech is passionate and conveys a definitive vision. All of these things can encourage followers to think about what could be. In other words, they inspire a promotion focus in their followers. In contrast, transactional leaders focus on developing clear structures that tell their followers exactly what is expected of them. While they do explain the rewards people will get for following orders, they emphasize more on how a follower will be punished or that a follower won't get rewarded if his or her behavior doesn't change. In short, they emphasize the consequences of making a mistake. This emphasis will clearly lead followers to focus on avoiding punishment and problems. This is clearly a prevention focus. In conclusion, it is important to understand that one focus is not necessarily better than the other. For a designer who works in a field where a lot of innovation is needed, a promotion focus is probably better. In contrast, a prevention focus, which causes people to work more cautiously and produce higher quality work, might be very appropriate for a job like a surgeon, for example. The main point of the research, though, is that the actions of leaders can greatly influence whether people approach a situation with more of a promotion focus or more of a prevention focus.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers. That is the end of the listening test. You would now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. If you score 1 to 18, you are unlikely to get an acceptable score under examination conditions, and we recommend that you spend a lot of time improving your English before you take IELTS. If you score 19 to 27, you may get an acceptable score under examination conditions, but we recommend that you think about having more practice or lessons before you take IELTS. If you score 28 to 40, you are likely to get an acceptable score under examination conditions, but remember that different institutions will find different scores acceptable. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it.